So here's what we're dealing with today. This is a 2017 Drive 2 Yamaha. But this test you can use on any electric golf cart. This is a 48 volt cart. And the symptoms we're finding on this one is a lot of energy used to try and play 18 holes. This has literally just played 18 holes of golf and it's got nothing left to offer. And we're finding it's slowing right down and using a lot of energy gauge to play 18 holes. Here's how we're going to load test the batteries without actually using a 48 volt load tester. We're going to use my truck instead. And you see we're talking a 48 volt electric cart. So there's 6 8 volt batteries totaling 48. But this essentially will work with a 36 cart. Doesn't matter whether there's 6 volts, 12 volt batteries. You're just testing each individual battery. You just have to know what size that battery is. It'll generally have it written on it. Or just count the cells. If you lift that, you'll see there's 4 cells. 4 cells. And they will all be 2 volts each. So if there's 3 cells, it's 6 volt. If there's 6 cells, it's 12 volt. These have got 4 8 volt batteries. And all you're going to need to do this is, like I said, something to rest the cart up against. Now, you've got to use your head a little bit with this, but I've got the bumper bar touching the tyre, okay? Don't use something that's going to be easily moved. You'll need a multimeter and maybe a set of alligator clips, but I've even done this with rubber bands. Literally sat a rubber band around the terminal and then slid that guy down the side. But you just got to make sure that you've got good connection. But I'm going to use alligator clips and we're going to test each battery individually. With your multimeter on volts, you want to go around and test each individual battery at rest. Now what at rest means is sitting there with no load on it and not straight off the charger, having been sitting for a length of time. And so what you want to do, first of all, testing the resting voltage, and I'm going to go around this way. So I'll put that over there where you can see. .24. I'm not going to worry about the second number, so we've got 8.2. .2 8.2, and so far this is exactly how they should be testing. 8.3, so there's a little variance there. .2 and 8.2. No surprises there. And I say no surprises there because resting battery voltage means nothing. If you see, that had just about used the complete energy gauge, and if you ran a multimeter over them, you'd say there's nothing wrong with them. However, here's where our alligator clips come in and our immovable object comes in. We're going to test them the same way. Just make sure we're actually getting contact here, otherwise we're going to get a false reading. 8.2, and here's where the fun starts. You'll see we're connected up with the alligator clips on the terminals, and all we're looking for is a sharp drop in voltage. So I'm going to depress the accelerator, the park brake will come off, we're going to depress the accelerator gently into the tyre. And you see that's dropped in well into the 6s. And I'll swap terminals. Second battery. 7.2. Make sure you got a reading. And you're already noticing the resting voltage is changing. If you remember, they were reading at 8.2. So third battery. Just ease him into the tyre. 6.4. This one's a little healthier at 8.25. 6.7. .1, and again already the resting voltage has drastically changed. 6.5. So we've got one very poor one, and to be honest, just confirms exactly what we thought. They are due for replacement, but we have one very sad one. What should they be at? If they're dipping anything under 7.5, they're sad. If they're staying in that 7.7, 7.8, they're in good nick. So what do we take from that? These are due for replacement. Way too much variation. Even the best one at 7.2 is terrible. That's not a lot of load. The one thing I will say, and the reason you could use this way of testing, is that if all of them tested quite good at say 7.7 and you found one battery that was 6 volts, number one, check its water, make sure it doesn't have a blocked float, or if they're manual, top the water up, check the one that you found with the low voltage, maybe try and charge it individually to bring it back to being the most charged battery, and then plug in your regular charger. The thing you find if you do have one sad battery is it'll never catch up. If it starts from a lower voltage charging, the good ones will take charge, the lower voltage one will be slowest to charge and it will never catch up. The difference will vary, but these ones are done. They're due for replacement. So what do I use that test for? It's basically to isolate if you have one bad battery or a dramatic difference in voltage between the set of batteries, because they have to act as a group. In this case, they're all quite bad. They should be in the very high 7s. They are not. Even the best of this was 7.2 or 7.3. And so in this case, they all need replacing.